Right. Okay, so we got sound. Oop. And is the stream working? Okay, I got the right. So I don't know if the stream has. I don't know if the stream has properly started, but this is primarily a test of live streaming to see how it works. And of course, one of the tricky things is to get the sound settings right. So I'm still not sure about my gain staging and whether that's okay, but I think it might be okay. I'm going to switch to playing some music now. So I got my microphone actually connected through the right now through the vocoder, so I can talk like this as well if I want to. Over the okay, that's a little bit too loud. That was a little bit of clipping there. So there's some gains that need to be adjusted a little bit. I'll figure out how to set things up. So this is just a live test, and of course at some point I want to do more live streams because the way I make music, as you might know if you watch my videos, is I improvise, and so it would be fun to do improvisation just as a live stream as well. One thing you will notice today is that I do not have the oscilloscope that usually sits here in my videos, and that is because my audio interface is 2 inputs only, and I have to use my audio interface to create the oscilloscope effect. I use a VST on my desktop, and then I use my iPad as a second screen, and I can't do that now because all the audio has to be the actual music and speech audio sent to the stream now, and I don't have 2 extra channels for the oscilloscope. So there won't be an oscilloscope as long as I do live streams until or unless, all depending, I get at least a 4 input audio interface. Okay, so I'm going to do some more testing now, just to see how this works and if I can get the gains right, avoid clipping, etc., etc. So I'll just get started. Okay. So the nasty clipping sound seems to be coming from the vocoder, actually, the output. So I have to make sure that I don't drive it too hard into the mixer, and that should be good to go. Okay. I know why. Because I have to do it like that. Okay. Right. Okay, that's it. First live test I've done, and completely improvised sets, improvised patching. A little bit experimental today, but that does happen. Of course, it's different every time, which is part of the fascination. Let's see. I see I've had some chats here. Kenny Cross says he loves that. Thank you. And Me Richie is just wondering why I went with 3 phenols instead of buying different synths. Now, there is a story behind that, and it started, of course, I bought 1 phenol first of all, and I really liked it. That was my first proper hardware synth. And then at one point I realized that I could get more possibilities if I added something else to it. So I started researching all other kinds of synths that might go with a phenol. And at some point I just realized that in order to augment the phenol, the easiest and the best, it was to get another phenol. So I bought a second one. And then recently, earlier this year, I had a little bit of disposable money, and I thought, okay, I'll get something else as well to add to my sonic palette. And then I realized that the synth, I really like both the way it works, the way it sounds, and all the possibilities it has is the phenol. So, and also it was discontinued last year. So I just jumped at the opportunity to get a third one. Not really because I needed a third one, but as a backup as well. But it does make a really nice setup with 3 because you can use it for drones, for instance. Another great thing about it is it has stereo inputs and stereo mixers, so I can use it to add extra channels to my... I only have a 10-channel mixer, the EPM6 by Soundcraft, but with the phenols I can add another 6 channels now as well if I need to connect other things to it. So that's quite useful. And I just really like the sound of the phenols. It's got a lot of character. The only thing, well, there are a few things I don't like about it, is the filter is not self-oscillating. That's one thing that I really like the Dreadbox for, the Dreadbox Dysphonia, which is often the main voice in my setup. And it doesn't have regular ADSR envelopes. It's got well, it's sort of an ADSR envelope, but they're digital and they can do so many other things as well. But they're harder to control than a regular ADSR envelope. But they're quite interesting anyway. Another thing that's missing from the phenol is attenuators. There should have been attenuators on the LFO and on the envelopes, but there aren't. So that's one thing I will add to it. I can just do a DIY project where I add a few attenuators because that will make a big difference. I use them all the time on the Dreadbox Dysphonia as well, the attenuators on the modifier, which is the modulator, and on the LFO when I'm playing. So yeah. Oh, Me Richie, yeah, he says thank you. Yeah, so I really like it. It's just, it's one thing, people talk about gas a lot, and there's been a lot of talk about gas lately as well. The thing is that I just felt that this was a synth for me. This was a synth that I'm the happiest using, I guess. So my soul synth, as I called it in some social media post. So yeah, I just really enjoy the phenols. I'm going to make a better stand as well at some point for all 3 of them. So yeah, the idea about this stand when I made it was that there's room for Eurorack in between. If I wanted to, and then I could also put in the extra DIY modules like attenuators and things like that. But I'm going to do that a little bit differently, I think. So I think I'm going to put all 3 in one rack and then have other things next to it, with the Dysphonia, the Zoya, the MIDI Fighter Twister, which I haven't been using in this today, and I haven't used it lately because I used that to control the Zoya. But I've got a nice effect setup on the Zoya now that I really like, that I use all the time, and I don't need to modify it so much. But if I want to use sequencers, for instance, all these things are connected with MIDI. If I want to, I would use the MIDI Fighter Twister for the sequencer, for instance, on the Zoya. So yeah, that's the thing about once you get to know a synth, that's the thing. But the thing is, you like any instrument, you can spend as much time as you like, really. You can just keep adding more time to it and find new things all the time as well. So I just felt I wanted to go a little bit more in depth in one synth, particularly the Phenol, and rather than trying to add new things all the time. So yeah, right. So I'm doing this stream from OBS, so I can't really get all the, I don't know how many people are watching or anything like that, because I can't see that in my, I don't know if I can see that. This is the first time I'm doing a live stream now. I've done the private live streams just to see that it works, but then on the private live stream I can't actually watch it while I'm streaming, and I'm not sure if I can do that now either. Just so I can see. I'll just have to make sure I mute this now so I don't get feedback. Okay. Okay, so now I can actually see my my stream there. Okay, yeah. Right. It's really weird watching my stream now because of the delay in sound. But I did do a test earlier, and I think the sound is synchronized. So I think my voice now will look as if it's about right. Certainly it worked when I was testing this. Right, so thank you for watching. I think I'm going to stop this now, but this is just the first test. I'm going to do this again every now and again, and probably plan it a little bit as well in terms of setting up a time, maybe a regular time for it. Because this is the way I play when I make videos, is I just start improvising, and I thought I might as well just do a live stream doing the same kind of thing. I did forget to press record on my audio recorders actually when I started doing this, but I think I got most of that. So what I'm doing when I'm recording now, I'm recording both the raw sound without effects, and I'm recording the sound with effects, so I can use the sound for other things later if I need to with the raw sound. But I do like the effects the way I've got them now. I think I've tuned them in to how I want it to be. So so the effects I have, of course, I use the Empress Effects Zoya, and I've got a delay, and I got a ping pong delay, but I'm doing both channels separately, because if you have one ping pong delay on the Zoya, one side, the left or the right, tends to get louder than the other side, because it starts on one side and then it goes to the other and the volume goes down. So I'm doing two ping pong delays, so the left channel starts and the right channel separate ping pong delays so they can cross over with the same volume, and then I've got a reverb at the end, and that's it really. And then I'm also, I think I sort of tried to get the right mix of the raw sound in there as well, with a slightly different panning, which gives it more of a stereo width as well. And I didn't do that right away when I made my videos, but what I did was I noticed when I did my videos, I tended to mix in a bit of the raw recording as well with the effects recording, and then instead of doing that afterwards, I adjusted the settings on the patch on the Zoya to reflect how I wanted it. So yeah. K Solo says, let's do it, looks fun. Yeah, okay. Kelly Cross says, sounds great, thank you very much. Yeah, I do like the sound of this setup myself. I'm not sure if I think I'm certainly in my headphones I got some distortion and clipping along the way actually today. Some channels were clipping. I think I adjusted it on the fly a little bit, but that's one of the tricky things about getting things right, I think, when it comes to sound, is to make sure it doesn't clip, but you don't want it to be not loud enough as well. But there were no visual indications anywhere on my setup that anything was clipping, so I'm not sure exactly why that should be, and it doesn't seem to happen so much when I'm playing, so I'm not sure if this has something to do with the audio into the computer that's causing the problem, because when I'm just recording it's fine. So actually the recording volume on my sound recorders is actually lower than usual to avoid clipping on the computer now. Right, so I'll be back with more streams like this at some point, and yeah, I've got new headphones as well. I don't know if you noticed, but I've been using the vocoder lately, of course, to add a little bit of sort of texture and sort of voice-like effects on top of the playing, and of course I can use it like this as well. Okay, now it's actually feedbacking into itself. And of course, one thing I used to do was I had a microphone and I had to hold it in my hand, so I didn't have my hands free. So I thought, okay, I'll need new headphones anyway, because my Audio-Technica ATX 50s were getting a bit worn. I've had to replace the the pads were falling off, and I had to add extra padding. Still, sound is all right, but and also they hurt my ears because they're too small, so they're on my ears. So I got these AKG 271s with a microphone to try, and so I can be hands-free when I'm using the vocoder as an effect as well. Right. I'll leave the stream for a few moments. Does anyone have any other questions? And if you do, please let me know. I'm not sure how much of a lag I've got. Oh, I've got about 20 seconds maybe. Yeah. So I'm going to leave it for just to see if anyone wants to ask any more questions, and then I will finish the stream.
Okay. So that's quite loud. So I'm mainly using the oscillator as the carrier for the vocoder, actually. Yeah.
So the the vocoder is, of course, the oscillator is quite digital, and the rest is very analog. So the sound doesn't really go. But of course, the vocoder is digital, and the oscillator actually works rather well as a carrier. So that's what I'm using.
So like this. So I'm not using any pitch input for the vocoder.
I just use it like it is. So yeah. Kenny Cross says, "Have a great day." Thank you for watching, and you have a great day too, Kenny. Thank you. Bye for now. See you next time.